here, John. Welcome to another Martin Taylor guitar conversation, and I'm really pleased to have with me a friend of mine. We've been friends for a long time, many years, and you may also remember this gentleman from when I had my group Spirit of Django, because he played rhythm guitar in that, but he's really gone into having a solo career and as a solo player, and I'm so pleased he's here. Please welcome John Goldie.
Thank you very much.
Hello, John.
Great to be here.
Oh, I'm so glad you came into the studio. Yeah. I mean, you don't live very far from his, but don't get to see you as often as we used to.
Different countries normally.
I know that. I think that's what happens a lot of the time. But we all recognise that tune, of course, Summertime.
Yeah.
But there's another tune lurking in the background.
Yeah.
Very cleverly.
Yeah. So my idea was to play the melody from Summertime, but I wanted to mix it in, or sort of have a bit of a mashup with Green Onions by Booker T and AMG. So it's influenced by that bass line, and then add the melody in as well. So that's the idea. So it's kind of Summer Onions, basically.
Yeah, Summer Onions.
Not quite summertime.
You were very influenced by Tuck Andrus as well.
Yeah.
I remember when we used to get together and used to talk a lot about,
that's right. I think
Tuck.
Probably for fingerstyle guitar would probably be yourself, a little bit of Tuck Andrus. I liked some of the stuff like Man in the Mirror and the type of things that he did. Also Joe Pass, of course. So I suppose started off doing some jazz things and then decided to go down slightly different routes. So I mean, I've done a whole bunch of different solo stuff, like rock classics from the 70s and things like that, different tunings and some sort of Celtic stuff. I've written a lot of stuff as well, but I think the initial thing would have been I think hearing you early on playing solo stuff, I was quite inspired by the fact that there was no one else there. It was just great to be able to do all that, and also just being in charge of the harmony and stuff like that. I think that seemed to just appeal to me, because I mean, prior to that I had absolutely no knowledge of jazz whatsoever, as you know.
Yeah, well, I was inspired by guitar players, solo players that weren't jazz players. Like, I went to see Segovia play when I was quite young, and heard other players, but they weren't jazz players. But I think it was that thing of just this can be done technically. You can actually you can do these like musical ideas that I had.
Yeah.
You can play those. So when I first met you, I remember it was in Glasgow, the famous Glasgow Society of Musicians.
Yeah.
And actually, I didn't meet you first. I met your wife Marie first, because she came up to me and she said, we weren't married at that time. She said, my boyfriend, he's a guitar player and he wants to get into jazz, but he's a bit shy to come and speak to you. So you're not shy anymore. I'm glad to know. So that's how we first met, and I remember you asking me about lessons, and I said, well, I didn't teach. I was just playing all the time, and you came to the house, and then we became good friends, and then Marie and my wife Liz became good friends, and we always used to hang out together a lot. And I remember, because you started playing when you were very young, so I mean you were already a really fantastic guitar player in many styles that you could do.
Pretty much more electric really at that point. I'm self-taught originally, so I'm not from a musical family. So my family are basically, my dad was a footballer, so there was no music in the house. I wasn't brought up around music, but my parents tell me that when I was about 6 or 7 I asked for a guitar. No one around played guitar. I just taught myself on this old beat up guitar, and very gradually got into the rock thing, so Status Quo, and that was my favourite sort of music.
You're still a big Quo fan.
Still a big Quo, can't beat the Quo. And so I just followed that sort of route, all self-taught, learning from like Vinyl or friends or whatever, and that sort of went on. I mean, I probably got to the point, maybe I was 11, 12 years old, I was playing in a band with maybe guys about 35, because I could play a lot of the rock stuff really well when I was just a kid. So I kind of like had a bit of a leap up into that, and then I really just decided, okay, this is fine, but I kind of wanted to learn more about music. Went to a few teachers, didn't work out. I wasn't really inspired, and then eventually found Frank. So
Frank Henry,
friend of ours. Yeah. So this guy Frank, I mean, he a few people said to me, "Oh, you should go and see Frank." And so I went to see Frank, and for people who don't know who he is, he's a really wonderful guitar teacher,
a legendary figure in Scottish guitar playing.
Yeah, he's a very old school rhythm guitar player, so he did a lot of the rhythm for a lot of the kind of Highland.
But he was great foundation for you, because you had this. I hate to say this, a natural talent, but of course you have that natural gift to play, and you picked up a lot of things. You obviously had this natural ability, and then he became part of probably harnessing a lot of that and refining some of that. Like he took you right back to the basics of just playing rhythm, of playing scales, learning to read music as well. Was very big on that, wasn't it?
Incredible. When I went there at first, I played him a few sort of rock things that I was doing, and he said, "Oh, I can't help you, son." And he's just big white beard and the long.
He looked like Santa Claus.
Yeah, Santa Claus with a Hawaiian shirt on. He was like crazy.
You can imagine that.
Yeah, Santa Claus on holiday in Barbados or something. So he sat down and he said, "Oh, I can't help you, son. I don't play rock music, or I don't know anything about it." And I said, "No, I want to learn how to read music." And his face lit up and he said, "Oh, great, take your coat off." And he always called me Johnny right from day one. Even though my name's John, he just said, "Right, Johnny, come in, son, sit down." And what was great about Frank was, and I can't remember if you've spoken about this before, but after I got to know him for a while, when I walked into the house, there was always music playing. And it could be a brass band, it could be an opera thing or something. And I would come in and say, "Come in, Johnny." So I'd come in and he'd say, "Right, what key's it in?" And I would go like, "What?" I didn't know what he was talking about. And of course, it's what key's the music in. And of course, I would take a guess and he'd go F, and he said, "Your ears painted on, son. It's nowhere near F. That's an A or something."
Well, he was good like that, because he was very. He did kind of emphasise learning to read music, for you, which is a great thing. But he also emphasised ear training as well, not to just rely on that.
Everything was fun with him, though. I mean, at the start it was a bit nerve-wracking, but the thing I liked about it was that, as the weeks went past, he would say, "Right, son," and eventually I could get the key. Then he would say, "Right, okay, what's the next chord? What's that chord? What's that chord?" And when I could read music a little bit, when I'd been there for a while, what he did is he put a piece of music down I'd never seen before that had the melody and the chords, and he wouldn't move on the lesson till I could play the melody and the chords together the first time I saw it. And I thought he's a really strict teacher, And my wife Marie, like years and years later, was talking to Frank and saying, "Oh, John was saying you were quite strict, and you didn't understand how you could do that with every day he came in." And Frank said, "No, he did it with one person." He never did it with anybody else. I was like, "Right, okay."
You're a bit like I am with my dog Ted. You were his Ted. You just had to give him. I'm going to give this.
Yeah, no,
I'm going to be firm with this guy.
Well, I think sometimes it's just luck, isn't it? You just, like people like yourself, you meet people that just are able to get something out of you don't know is there. It's a very difficult thing.
One of the things I like about Frank is he never holds anything back. He's in a care home now, Frank, and a friend of ours, Tom Torrance, and I, we said, let's go and see Frank, because he can't get out anymore, so he's in this care home. So one afternoon we trundled along there. I said, should we take our guitars and we'll play for him? And Tom says, yeah, we'll play for him, then he'll tell us what we're doing wrong. And sure enough, we went there, we sat down and we played something for Frank, and he said, "Hi, that's nice, son. You see, if you played that on there, that'll sound a lot better."
Just move it up a bit.
All right, okay, Frank. And then he told us how to improve it. Yeah. But somebody I had huge respect for.